Good morning to everybody. Welcome to online class in biology. Today we will discuss about cell, the structure and function. So this lesson is there in 8th class biology. So let us see the details of the cell structure and functions. Cell is the basic unit of life. Any organism starts its life from a single cell. If you take human being, we ourselves have cells more than 37 trillions. 1 trillion is equal to 1000 billions, and 1 billion is equal to 1000 millions. So we have cells more than 37 trillion cells. So in that way, the trees will be having lot many cells, and other animals will be having lot many cells. But whatever the number of cells that an organism is having, but it starts its life from only one cell. So that is why the cell is considered as the basic unit of life. You can compare the cell with a brick, as the bricks are arranged and construct the walls, and you construct a house. And depending upon the way you arrange the bricks, you will have different designs of houses. In the same way, you have different designs of organisms. But the basic unit, as the brick is to the house, the cell is to the organism. So that is why cell is an important unit. That is a basic unit, structural and functional. And this cell, for the first time, was discovered by Robert Hooke. First time, the cell was discovered by Robert Hooke in the year 1665. So during 17th century, the technology has not developed as we have. So now we have very powerful microscopes, lot of technology. But in the 17th century, when Robert Hooke discovered the cell, he doesn't have the equipment that we have. So he himself prepared a simple microscope of his own, and under his microscope, he has observed the thin slices of cork. So he has taken a cork tissue and he has cut thin sections of the cork, and those thin sections of the cork he put under microscope and he observed. So when he observed those cork tissues under his microscope, I'll show you how it appeared. So the cork tissue, when he observed under microscope, he has observed the honeycomb-like cells, empty cells. So these are something like boxes, empty boxes. So since they are empty boxes, and he named each one as cell. Actually cellulae he named, but it is translated into English as cell. So that is how in the year 1665, Robert Hooke discovered the cell. So that is the first discovery. After till another 150 years, till another 150 and 50 years, there was no much discovery about the cell. Then afterwards, a lot of powerful microscopes came, and we observed. Then we have understood a lot of details of these cells. So what actually Robert Hooke observed was only the cell wall. This only cell wall he has observed. He has observed the dead tissue. This is the cell wall he has observed. Okay, now these cells, every organism will contain cells. Every organism will contain cells, but the cells are not will not exhibit a uniform size and uniform shape. The cells differ in size. Cells differ in shape also. So different types of cells are there, which differ in size, which differ in shape, and even sometimes colors also. So what is the smallest cell? The smallest cell, this is the smallest cell. You are seeing here, this is the smallest cell. The name of the cell is mycoplasma. Mycoplasma, it is a type of bacteria. So the smallest cell is mycoplasma, and the size of the mycoplasma varies from 0.1 to 0.5 micrometers. 0.1 to 0.5 micrometers size. This is the smallest cell called as mycoplasma. So what is micrometer? Micrometer means 1 part of millionth, 1 by 1 million meter. So 1 millionth part of a meter, that is the size of a mycoplasma. That is equal to 1 micrometer. So that is the micrometer. 0.1 to 0.5 micrometer size, that is the smallest cell identified. Now, what is the largest cell? So largest cell is the cell of ostrich egg. Now this is the largest cell. You can compare the size of the ordinary egg and ostrich egg. How many times it is bigger? So you are seeing how many times you can just compare the size of the ordinary small egg which hens lay, and then ostrich egg. So this is considered as the largest cell. 3 organisms you are seeing here. One is amoeba, another one is paramecium, and the third one is euglena. The 3 organisms are differing their shape. Amoeba, if you see, there is a nucleus inside and the finger-like projections, and these finger-like projections are called pseudopodia. And the shape what you are seeing is not permanent. It goes on changing its shape. So it is irregular shape. But the next one you are seeing paramecium. It is just like a slipper shape. And that is why it is also commonly called as slipper animalcule. And the third one you are seeing is euglena. So you are having one flagellum here. This flagellum helps in its movement, whereas the body of the paramecium is covered by small hair-like structures. They are called cilia. So these are having one cell, and the one cell itself act as an organism. One cell, total body is one cell only. And this one cell itself carry on all the functions, let it be digestion, circulation, respiration, whatever it is. So that is why such organisms whose body is only one cell and carry on all its activities, such organisms are called as unicellular organisms. And if you take ourselves as an example, we have trillions of cells, we said, and in these trillions of cells, different types of tissues you can find. So what is a tissue again? A tissue is a group of similar cells carrying on a specific function. A group of similar cells carrying on a specific function, they are called tissue. So there are different types of tissues in our body. For example, muscular tissue, nervous tissue. You are seeing here now, this is a nervous tissue, and here muscular tissue. Here bone tissue, fat cell, blood cells. So these are the different types of cells that are present in our body, but they are not independent organisms as in the case of Paramecium or Euglena. So now the cells in our body, you can see how differently the shape they are exhibiting. Nerve cell is elongated, ovum is spherical, fat cell almost round, then a smooth muscle fiber, it is spindle shaped, then blood cell, it is spherical, white blood cell, it is irregular as amoeba. So these are the different shapes of cells. So cells differ in their size and also differ in their shape. Now, based on whether their body is having only one cell or many cells, the organisms are divided into two categories. This is the categories. Depending upon whether the body of the organisms is made up of one cell or many cells, you can see here. They are divided into unicellular organisms and multicellular organisms. Say unicellular organisms means the total body will have only one cell. Just now we have seen examples like amoeba, Paramecium, Euglena, Chlamydomonas, so many are there, even yeast cell. So those organisms whose body consists only one cell, they are called unicellular organisms. And those organisms whose body consists many cells, and they are called multicellular organisms. So when we say multicellular organisms, so different cells are organized into tissues. So there are different types of tissues, and each type of tissue will carry a specific function. So that is why it's called division of labor. Division of labor. So division of labor you can find in multicellular organisms. So that is how this is a type of classification based on the number of cells that are there in the body. Then next, one more difference is there. Some cells, depending upon the organelles that are present, depending upon the organelles that are present, here you are seeing a bacteria cell. You are seeing a bacteria cell. This is a bacteria cell. Bacteria cell. And these are the cells that you can find in the plants or animals. So now you can compare the cells of bacteria and cells of plants or animals. Say this is a plant cell and the right side is animal cell, and the down you are seeing a bacteria cell. So what is the difference between a bacteria cell and this plant cell or animal cell? When we examine the inner structure of the cell, some cells, the cells here in prokaryotic cell, this there is no specific nucleus. See here you are seeing this is an animal cell. In the center, what you are seeing, the round structure is a nucleus. And apart from nucleus, you are seeing you are seeing now Golgi body or Golgi apparatus, lysosomes, then vesicles, then endoplasmic reticulum. There are two types of endoplasmic reticulum: smooth endoplasmic reticulum and rough endoplasmic reticulum, mitochondria, then cytoplasm. These are the organelles, different organelles you are seeing here. Almost all organelles you can see in the plant cell also. Only the difference is plant cell will have extra cell wall. This is a cell wall, and it also have chloroplast and large vacuole. Now you see big vacuole is there. So this is the difference. Otherwise, all other organelles are almost the same. But all these specific organelles, what you are seeing here, are not present in bacteria cell. All those nucleus, the chloroplast, mitochondria, Golgi apparatus, whatever that you have seen there are not here. There is no specific nucleus. So, but whatever that is there in the nucleus, like DNA, you can find here. There are no specific membrane-bound organelles in the bacteria. So that is why such cells which do not have a specific membrane-bound organelles, which do not have a well-defined nucleus, and they are treated as prokaryotic cells. Pro means primitive. Prokaryotic means very ancient. So that is how you can again differentiate between prokaryotic cells and eukaryotic cells. So there are differences between prokaryotic cells and eukaryotic cells. Here you can see. So prokaryotic cells, well-defined nucleus are present in prokaryotic cells. Not present, well-defined nucleus are not present, whereas it is present in the eukaryotic cell. So prokaryotic cell exhibits simple structure. You cannot find all organelles. Then it contains a single chromosome or a single DNA, a circular DNA, and no nucleus. Size also comparatively smaller, 1 to 10 micrometers. Whereas if you see eukaryotic cell, well-defined nucleus, you can find complex in structure because it exhibits all cell organelles. Then it contains more than one chromosome. Nucleus is present, and within the nucleus, nucleolus is also present, and they are generally large size, 5 to 100 units. You can see when compared to this one. So this is how you can differentiate between prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell.